Кто это? Джоргенсен? Под коном, тип.
Выхожу, блядь.
Давай. Хорош. Нас underground. Почему мне погас монитор? Он был один. Молик из крыла. Мерил. Я молик дефолдую. Он один.
На возвышении.
I have smoke flash. Давай. Под окном. Сгорел. Это так. Да, мог по... Хорошо, жестко. Малик убил. Малик убил.
Рам.
Снайпер. Я пока не даю. С камня. Я ему убил.
Под окном?
Пойдем нахуй.
Anytime you unbox this light, you can always upgrade fast system. Turn these here. In battle mode, luckily for me, is USP confirm, which basically all those skills. Withdrawing those skills and take and you get the trade offer in less than a minute. So, they have all the convenient description to get a set good luck.
Он прыгает. Била. Под окном не был. Пацаны, он был под окном, нет? Найс. Хорош. Молодцы. Прием. Да, под коврами. Не дали флеш. Еще хелпа должен быть. Ладно.
А, не мид. То есть скройте.
Да, нахуй так играем, я не понимаю. Играем просто в мясо. Просто покупаем калаш. Сосем, блядь. просто. Звук.
Там два окна, там два окна. Один ходит.
Рашит мид, рашит мид.
Подвал, подвал.
Я вышел, я вышел. Давай, давай, давай. Был бы еще за ним. Дальше. Не надо. Они... Да, под коннект. Это он. Найс. Есть редик. Есть редик. Бил, бил. Найс. Еще конды.
Я по лиге.
Я даю смог окно, да.
Кон and smoke. Left side кон.
Зиги не будет, да, бах? Найс. Еще там же. Я две флешки даю, Даня. Я уйду наверх, Дань. Я голову забрал. Смотри голову. С камней вышел, походу. Не сп...
Firebox is fragment from this 3A now. 2 corner and 1 city.
Блять.
Я мало.
Мід нічого не розуміє, мід не розуміє.
Искра, дефолт.
Прыгало.
Дефолт.
Дефолт.
Дефолт, давай.
Голову один. Маленького ряда.
Ну, красный. И голову еще тип.
Что они делают, бля, меня бесит нахуй.
Опорника убив.
2Б. Убей.
Це джангл.
Окно. Это пиздец. Дань, а что ты в тильте, Дань? Почему ты всю игру так играешь?
Chamber has made Valorant the unhealthiest it's ever been. Changed my mind. Chamber is by far the most broken agent in the history of Valorant. As someone who desperately called for a Chamber nerf, this is a stupid nerf. Chamber is now useless. From being at the very top to sitting at rock bottom, Chamber has been through it all, entering the game and completely shifting the way the game was played to then becoming one of the most unused agents of all time. People have such mixed opinions on him, and yet he's quite possibly the most controversial agent in all of Valorant's history. But to understand why, we have to look back at the beginning. Back in November of 2021, when agents like Jett were absolutely dominating the meta, the announcement of a new agent was made, and it was none other than Chamber himself. Believe it or not, there was actually a point in time where people didn't think Chamber would be all that useful. As more and more information about his abilities was released early on, a lot of people in the community were quick to brush him off and say that he wouldn't be a good Sentinel at all. You can't even blame them for it, because on paper, Chamber's kit really doesn't look good in comparison to Killjoy's or Cypher's. Since two of his abilities were effectively just guns and one of his skills was meant for mobility, it looked like all he had was slow trips to stall. No mollies, cages, or physical barriers at all. The question then was, how was he supposed to do his job as a supposedly defensive agent if he couldn't even stop executes effectively? I know that agent was supposed to be a Sentinel, and then I looked at the abilities and I was just really confused. I feel like it's not really played as a Sentinel. It's more like an initiator / duelist type of player. I don't know if it's going to replace a Cypher or Killjoy, I don't think, but it's just a weird Sentinel. I don't know. Since Sentinels traditionally control certain areas of the map, I don't know if he can really do that very easily. Overall, I like the style of Chamber. I think he's a fun agent, but I don't think the Sheriff ability can change the operator meta or make it any stronger. It's still just a pistol, and Snipers prefers being able to hold angles at ranges beyond the Sheriff. Well, when he was released in November 2021 during patch 3.10, it quickly became clear that things in game are much different from things on paper. Even though his kit was mostly just guns, they were incredibly powerful. His Headhunter was basically a pocket guardian. It had no damage fall off, could one tap from any range, and had a really fast pullout time. And his ultimate Tour de Force was basically an operator with the fire rate of a Marshal. It reset incredibly quickly, only cost 7 ult points, and inflicted a slow field upon hitting a target.
Above you and behind you.
Holy!
On top of that, his other two abilities weren't too shabby either. His troops being global ended up being just perfect. He had 2 of them, and they had global range, so they were better than Killjoy's singular limited ranged alarm bot. And it had more range before Cypher's buff. He undisputably had the best trips in the game for a while. On top of that, his teleport ended up being an incredibly broken movement ability with proper setup. He had 2 anchors and massive range on them, as well as the ability to reposition not just horizontally, but also vertically with just one ability. So at this point, the similarities should be very glaring. It's not hard to make a comparison with Jet, especially since at the time, her dash combined with the operator was basically running the meta. It's not a stretch to say that instead of nerfing Jet, Riot put out Chamber in hopes of him being not just competition against her, but also an alternative way to do part of her job without being forced to use her. I mean, after all, they were both agents who could push up aggressively, get a pick, and deny the trade by quickly repositioning out. It seemed like they were both built to wield the operator, and time would tell just which one could do it better. In early 2022, Chamber would finally become playable in professional Valorant across Stage 1 challenges. At first, professional teams still vastly preferred Jet. Her pick rate was still absurdly high, sitting at around 70 to 80% across all regions, while Chamber would be sitting at a comfortable 30 to 40% on average. This makes sense, as making new strategies and playing new agents takes time to adjust. Why would they gamble on something uncertain when Jet is proven to be there and be fine? Why would they put their star players and duelists on a Sentinel? Well, there was at least one team willing to try. Optic would take up the challenge in Masters Reykjavik, and they had a lot to prove.
Brevo est le nouveau Bravo. Brevo est le CRM tout en un qui fait grandir votre entreprise.
イエーイこの武器は危険だイエーイイエーイイエーイ取り入ってますよイエーイ見てる
But there it is, that's what you needed. He plays ahead of the timing, finds less, but there's a player close by, and he's still doing this. He has to be the protagonist in this story.
Zanuck
This
reloading!
round,
What?
Zanuck completely unaware, and yay, this 3 could be on for the ace if he gets the timing right. He knows it, he reads it like a book. Yay is an animal in these moments. More, and it looks so good!
And oh boy, prove it, he did. He casually pulled out a stellar 1.32 KD performance, the highest in the tournament. It wasn't even close, man. Chamber was far, far superior to Jet when it came to just
talking. Now we fight! The bomb is on the ground. Let's go.